From three-time World Series champion to becoming designated for assignment, a lot has occurred in Madison Bumgarner's 15-year career. From an unbelievable 0.25 ERA in 4 World Series games to an atrocious 10.26 ERA in 2023, Bumgarner has encountered plenty of high and low waves. But how did he get here? Well, we all have to go all the way back to 2007 when Bumgarner was drafted in the first round by the San Francisco Giants. As the highest ranked player according to North Carolina State's class of 2007, Bumgarner achieved many honors such as receiving a PG grade of 10 and a top 10 fastball ranking. Once Bumgarner reached the minor leagues, he made a good habit out of dominating the opposition. In his first season at the professional level with the Augusta Green Jackets in 2008, Bumgarner posted a 1.46 ERA with 164 strikeouts and a 0.19 home runs per 9 innings in 24 games. Bumgarner continued blowing past the competition in 2009 with the high-A San Jose Giants, hurling a 1.48 ERA with 23 strikeouts and no homers allowed in 5 games. Not too long after, Bumgarner was promoted to the Double-A Connecticut Defenders, where he chalked up a 1.93 ERA with 69 strikeouts and 0.50 home runs per 9 in 20 games. At this point, the southpaw pitching prospect was gaining the attention of scouts and fans alike due to his filthy stuff and ability to command said stuff. His fastball velocity earned a 9 out of 10 grade, his fastball command earned a 8.6 out of 10, and his secondary pitches earned a 7.8 out of 10 on his prospect profile. A combination of a deadly fastball that could be painted at 96 miles per hour, an above average slider, and an average changeup that would become a weapon later down the road helped Bumgarner thrive. On top of this, Bumgarner received an 8.2 out of 10 grade on his intangibles due to his excellent work ethic, mound presence, and makeup. Bumgarner was now ready to take the next step as he made his MLB debut on September 8th, 2009 versus the San Diego Padres. During his debut as a 20-year-old, Bumgarner allowed 2 runs with 4 strikeouts and 5.1 innings of work. He would end the 2009 season with a 1.80 ERA and 10 strikeouts in 4 games. Not too shabby, but Bumgarner would soon realize how ruthless of a league Major League Baseball can become. Bumgarner was given an opportunity to take the Giants' 5th starter spot in the spring of 2010. Due to his struggles, Bumgarner started the 2010 season with the AAA Fresno Grizzlies, where he posted a 3.16 ERA with 59 strikeouts and 0.54 home runs per 9 in 14 games. Bumgarner regained his confidence and headed back to San Francisco in the same year, tossing over 100 innings of 3 ERA ball with 86 strikeouts and 0.89 home runs per 9 in 18 games. It seemed like everything was turning out amazingly for Bumgarner, but there was still one large task at hand to conquer, and that was the postseason. On October 11th, 2010, Bumgarner made his first postseason start versus the Atlanta Braves in Game 4 of the NLDS, securing a victory with 5 strikeouts and 2 earned runs and 6 innings of work. Bumgarner didn't perform as well in his next appearance in Game 4 of the NLCS versus the Philadelphia Phillies, where he went 4.2 innings with 6 strikeouts and 3 earned runs. Bumgarner would make 2 more appearances in the 2010 postseason. In Game 6 of the NLCS versus the Phillies, Bumgarner pitched 2 innings of no-run ball with 1 strikeout. In his final appearance in Game 4 of the 2010 World Series versus the Texas Rangers, Bumgarner secured a victory with an incredible outing of 8 innings, no runs, and 6 strikeouts. One day later, on November 1st, Bumgarner would become a champion and help raise the Giants' 6th World Series title in franchise history. The Giants would miss the postseason in 2011, but Bumgarner would continue brushing up on his skills with a 3.21 ERA, 191 strikeouts, and a 4.4 FWAR in over 200 innings pitched. In 2012, Bumgarner would again have another productive year with a 3.37 ERA and 191 strikeouts in over 200 innings. This time around in the postseason, Bumgarner wasn't nearly as sharp. In 3 postseason appearances versus the Cincinnati Reds, St. Louis Cardinals, and the Detroit Tigers, Bumgarner pitched 15 innings with a 6 ERA. The worst start was in Game 1 of the NLCS, where he pitched to a 11.25 ERA in 3.2 innings. His only positive performance came against the Tigers, where he struck out 8 with no runs allowed in 7 innings. However, despite the struggles, the Giants were able to secure their 7th World Series title as a franchise and their 2nd championship in the last 3 seasons. Per usual, Bumgarner would thrive in 2013 with a 2.77 ERA and 199 strikeouts, but the Giants wouldn't make it to the postseason. Next year in 2014, Bumgarner would post a 2.98 ERA with a career-high 219 strikeouts and 217.1 innings of work, and gain another opportunity in the postseason. Bumgarner would pitch to a quality start in 6 of his 7 postseason appearances, tossing over 50 innings with a ridiculous 1.03 ERA and 45 strikeouts. Bumgarner started his absurd 2014 postseason with a complete game shutout with 10 strikeouts versus the Pittsburgh Pirates in the wild card round. In Game 3 of the NLDS versus the Washington Nationals, Bumgarner hurled 7 innings of 2-run ball with 6 strikeouts. In Games 1 and 5 of the NLCS versus the St. Louis Cardinals, Bumgarner allowed 3 runs and struck out 12 batters in 15.12 innings. In Game 1 of the World Series versus the Kansas City Royals, Bumgarner pitched 7 innings of 1-run ball with 5 strikeouts, preceded by a complete game shutout and 8 strikeouts in Game 5. Bumgarner would end his dominant 2014 postseason run with a 5-inning, no runs, and 4 strikeout performance in Game 7, which ultimately resulted in the Giants' 3rd World Series title since 2010. From 2010 through 2014, Bumgarner pitched to an unthinkable 0.25 ERA in the World Series and owns the lowest ERA in the World Series among pitchers with at least 25 innings. Oh, and on top of this, Bumgarner would now have 3 World Series titles under his belt, and to complement the matter further, he pitched to a 3.07 ERA and 886 strikeouts in the regular season from 2010 through 2014. At this point in Bumgarner's career, nobody had an answer for the Juggernaut of October, and it looked like his impressive resume would continue to blossom. In 2015 and 2016, Bumgarner posted a 2.93 ERA and a 2.74 ERA with a combined 485 strikeouts and over 400 innings. Bumgarner obtained another opportunity in the 2016 postseason, which would be the last of his career. As expected, Bumgarner pitched a complete game shutout with 6 strikeouts in the wildcard round versus the New York Mets. In Game 3 of the NLDS versus the Chicago Cubs, Bumgarner pitched 5 innings of 3-run ball with 4 strikeouts, although the Giants would ultimately fall to the Cubs in Game 4. After the 2016 postseason, Bumgarner continued showcasing his gifted abilities with a 3.32 ERA in 2017, 3.26 ERA in 2018, and a 3.90 ERA in 2019, which was accomplished in almost 450 innings. After the 2019 season, for the first time, Bumgarner's career would spiral into an alternate direction and not one of dominance. In the offseason, Bumgarner would sign a 5-year, $85 million deal with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Nowadays, the Diamondbacks are playing winning baseball and have the 3rd best farm system ranking per MLB Pipeline, so it's easy to understand Bumgarner's point of view, as long as it has nothing to do with pimping home runs, of course.
Muncy hits this ball to deep right field. Forget about it. Muncy with a splash hit. And some words for Bumgarner as he rounds the bases with his 13th home run of the season. And a 1-0 first inning lead. Mad Max with a few more words for Mad Bum.
In the 60-game 2020 season, Bumgarner pitched to an awful 6.48 ERA and offered negative value to his team, but I won't be too hard on him for anomaly of a year. Bumgarner's numbers would improve in the next 2 seasons, but not by much, as he was responsible for a 4.67 ERA in 2021 and a 4.88 ERA in 2022. If things couldn't get any worse, Bumgarner was released by the Diamondbacks after hurling an atrocious 10.26 ERA with a negative 0.4 F4 in 4 starts. The last thing on the agenda is to figure out why exactly Bumgarner struggled with the D-backs. It most certainly can't be Brent Strom, as the current D-backs pitching coach had plenty of success in Houston with the Astros. Diving into Bumgarner's 2023 StatCast rankings since 2019, well, it gets worse as the years go by. In the 2023 season alone, Bumgarner was in the 5th percentile or worse for expected batting average, expected slugging, expected ERA, chase rate, strikeout percentage, walk percentage, and fastball velocity. Basically, there wasn't just one problem, but multiple. Firstly, Bumgarner hasn't been able to command like he used to. In the 2023 season, Bumgarner didn't have a positive run value on any of his pitches. While Bumgarner posted a 400 slugging when throwing his fastball, which is slightly above league average, he also posted a 500 slugging on cutters, 571 slugging on curveballs, and an unbearable 2.750 slugging on changeups. Bumgarner was getting hit pretty hard on all of his pitches, which explains the poor barrel percentage. Bumgarner also wasn't getting as many whiffs, as he dropped from 18.1% to a career low 17.1% in the last 2 years. Bumgarner hasn't been able to make hitters chase out of the zone as often. He had a career low 57.8 first pitch strike percentage, and too many pitches have been left over the plate. That last sentence is important because Bumgarner used to get hitters to chase out of the zone quite frequently, but since 2020, his stuff hasn't been nearly as sharp. The fastball, which was Bumgarner's bread and butter for most of his career, has a run value of 22 since arriving in Arizona. In the same time frame, Bumgarner produced a 5-run value on his changeup, a 6-run value on his curveball, and an 11-run value on his cutter. For future reference, anything in the negatives for run value is considered good, so having a run value of 22 is quite the adventure to say the least. There are many issues that Bumgarner was enduring, and having that many issues simultaneously doesn't equal positive results. If you look at Bumgarner's numbers from 2020 through 2022, you will also find evidence of him struggling. Just to name off a few items, Bumgarner's whiff percentage was rather inconsistent, and all his expected numbers were in the 42nd percentile or worse. So, what's next for Bumgarner? Can someone fix the 33-year-old southpaw, or is his career over? If Brent Strom can't fix Bumgarner, who can, if anyone? In time, the answer will be revealed, but that is a story for another day.